Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's edition of KDHL's AM Minnesota program. We have with us this morning Julie Fakler, the Executive Director of the Paradise Center for the Arts. She is here to give us a rundown of what's happening in the... I was trying to think of a word that rhymes with July that would talk excitement. Can you think of one?
No, I can't. We do have the Addams Family coming up. That's exciting.
I know. The cast, a couple of them were in the studio last week. They did a great job.
Yeah, I had a fun time listening to it. I think you had Morticia, Fester, and Gomez.
Yeah, they were all very good. Very good. In fact, the recording of that is up on our website. If you missed it, folks, under the AM Minnesota tab at kdhlradio.com. That opens
this Friday, July 10th. So get your tickets today. You can get those at paradisecenterforthearts.org. And also, you can give us a call at 507-332-7372. Yep, we're excited. Addams Family opening on this Friday, July 10th. And they will have a performance on the 11th and 12th for this weekend. And then they'll be back for the 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th.
Are they pretty close to a sellout?
Tickets are selling good, but you can get them at our website. And if you have your Paradise Community Theater season pass, you can also do that on the website. So we have a pass that you can buy for the Paradise Community Theater productions. You get 5 tickets. They're interchangeable within the season. And here's the thing people will be really excited about. You don't have to pay the processing fee on those tickets. So actually, you're saving money by doing the pass, and then you're saving money by not paying that processing fee. And I know there's some people out there who don't like it, so this is your chance to get away without paying it. There's a member price and a non-member price, and you can get those on the website, or you can get those through the box office.
When do you open?
The box office opens Wednesday at noon. But if you leave us a voicemail, we'll get back to you sooner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we can call you back.
The booklet's out.
Yes, we have our new season guide. So if you don't have that, that's another good reason to stop into the Paradise. We do have a virtual edition on our website. And you go to that homepage, you can click on it, and you can go through the season guide. So after the Addams Family, we have Gary West's Heroes, Friends, and Legends show. That's going to be Friday, July 24th at 7:30. Gary's going to have his band with him. It's going to be a great time, and we're going to talk to him after the farm report. And then if you are interested in taking a class or learning something new this summer, we've got stained glass class. We've got a lino cut to clay with Tammy Ressler. We have acting fun for little ones, some more stained glass with Sandra Sargent. We have, that's in August, a cabin on a lake with watercolor class. But the exciting thing we have a free class with Rocky. Rocky just had his show at the Paradise that came down June 20th, 21st, something like that. Anyhow, it's building worlds and characters for children's stories. And this is a free class for ages 8 and up. That's going to be Saturday, July 25th. We have a 9:30 a.m. class, and that's going to be taught in English. And then 11 a.m., we're going to have the same class, but it's going to be taught in Spanish. So get your kids registered for that. We do have that on the website. We just need registration now so we know how many people to expect.
Is there no art tour in 2027?
There's an art tour.
Okay.
It's in there, the gallery page.
Well, it's 2026, but 2027, I don't.
Oh, well, this book goes from July 1, 2026 to June 30th, 2027.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
That's why I didn't see it.
Yep, we follow a programming year. It helps us write grants. Grant cycles are more in line with a programming year. And also for booking the acts, it's also helpful to have a programming year. but our fiscal year is January through December, so it can get a little confusing. So that's why we're starting our first show of the season with the Addams Family. And that's very exciting. And if you want to view the galleries, we have the Ming Chow Group exhibition. That's Asian brushwork. We have some PCA pottery artists. We have Joe Optivet with diamond art. And then we have Elena Platt in our student gallery. Those exhibits will be up through August 15th. So when you come and see the Addams Family and Gary West, you can see those shows also. And at the end of July, we will have Junie B. Jones, the musical Junior, presented by the Marquee Children's Theater season, opening on July 31st. And that is sponsored by Federated Insurance, Southern Heights Dental, and the Ball Foundation.
We got quite a season here.
Yes. And Gary West is generously sponsored by Shar and Larry Johnson. The Addams Family musical is sponsored by the Ball Foundation. And our education season is sponsored by West Breck, Marketing, and the Hometown Credit Union, and Ritchie Eye Clinic. Gallery season is sponsored by Weber Physical Therapy, Southern Heights Dental Group, and Hammer Law. So we have lots of exciting sponsors who are supporting this season, and a huge shout out to them. Thank you for everybody who's sponsored this season.
Gary West's Heroes, Friends, and Legends show.
Yep.
We'll be visiting with him in the not-too-distant future here.
Yep, we'll be giving him a call shortly.
Hopefully, anyway, he'll answer his phone. If he doesn't, that's the way it goes.
Yep, it will be a full-throttle country experience. So if you are a fan of Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, is it Waylon?
Chris Christopherson, Elvis Presley.
Carl Perkins.
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yep.
That's quite a variety.
It's all the big guys.
The Outlaws. Music trivia.
Yep. In August, we're bringing back music trivia. That was so much fun last year. We had so much fun. We smiled so much. Our faces hurted the next day.
Really?
Yeah. So we were still smiling the next day. It was so much fun. So Muck and Tracy are volunteering to do that. It's $100 per team, $25 a person. If you don't have a full team, don't worry. We can pair you with somebody. It was so much fun last time. And they use vinyl records.
Murder on the Orient Express.
Yep. PCT has an exciting season. That's why I'm highly recommending you get those passes. And like I said, they're interchangeable within the season. So if you wanted to take 3 people to the Addams Family and 2 people to the Murder on the Orient Express, you can do that. You don't have to use one for each show.
An Elvis tribute show in November?
Yep. Our Elvis is coming back.
Should see if we should get him in studio.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Holiday dessert auction.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Grand Ole Opry Christmas.
Anastasia, the musical, directed by Shelley Fitzgerald. She just directed Wizard of Oz in Little Theater of Owatonna.
Yeah, they did very well. I understand.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so we're excited to have Shelley back at the Paradise.
The Carpenters.
Yep.
In January.
Yep, they were at the Paradise several years ago. I remember they were a great show, so we were bringing them back. And that's sponsored by Rosemarie Maracini.
Who's Rosemarie Maracini?
She is a person who's on our board of directors, and she's a member of the Paradise.
Does she own an Italian restaurant?
No, but she is Italian. And she volunteers. I can see the cathedral from here. I believe she volunteers for the dinner at the cathedral. Is that on Tuesdays?
Yes, it is.
Yep. She does a lot of volunteering around town. She's a wonderful person.
Is Jesse Campbell from Minnesota?
I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that.
She's a comedian who will be at the Paradise on January 8th. Long about that time of January, you'll need to laugh.
We always bring in the comedians in January or February.
It's bitterly cold, maybe.
And then I'm sponsoring band James Band, the music of James Bond, 007's greatest hits. And that's going to be directed by Gary Rue. And we just talked to Gary when he was here for his Summer of Love show. And people raved about that. They love that show.
Which show?
The Summer of Love. Remember in June?
Yeah.
Yep, we talked to Gary. A different Gary.
Gary Rue. We're talking with Gary West here later on.
Yep.
A Billy Joel State of Mind with Mick Sterling.
Yep, and that's going to be with his big band, so there's going to be a lot of people on stage for that one.
They got a Simon and Garfunkel twist with a couple of women singing.
Yep, those are local women. We've got Pauline Jennings.
I'm going to repeat that.
Yep.
Simon and Garfunkel with a couple of women singing.
Yep, Pauline Jennings and Barb Piper. They sold out last time they were at the Paradise. So we've got some new stuff. We've got some returning favorites.
The Princess and the Pea. I was in that play when I was a kid.
That's going to be Amber Holven's directorial debut.
I played King Sextimus.
That was the real name?
Yeah, that was it, King Sextimus. Nope.
And Amber's going to be helping out with our Junie B. Jones production. They will start the rehearsing July 13th, I believe, and they rehearse for 3 weeks, and then they put on a production, and it's high-quality production. We do have Mickey Morstead, who's going to be directing that. We've got Ambrose, who's going to be doing the choreography. Will McIntyre's doing the music direction, and Amber Holven will be assisting all of them. And that one is actually funded by the Southeastern Minnesota Arts Council.
You got Journey, Foreigner, Kansas, Styx, Bon Jovi. Wow.
Yeah. Yep, that one's going to be knocking it out of the park for that one.
Well, that's in, kind of right in my graduating from high school time. Within the 5 years or so of that, or during that time.
Yep. And the Looney Lutherans are coming back, but you're going to have to wait till May 2nd.
I don't know why does that music stick with you when you
graduate from high school music?
Yeah, I mean, why it sticks with you more than any other time.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Probably.
I'm just curious as to why that would be the case. I still like listening to music, but I tend to listen to stuff that I listened to back then.
I always wonder how it works for the actors, like the Addams Family musical. I wonder if they will ever forget these songs.
Of course not. No.
They'll be in their heads forever.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah, we're very excited. Brandon will be back on stage as Gomez. Paula Jameson as Morticia.
You'll laugh.
Pugsley as Kellen. Super excited about that. Most of these people have been on our stage before. I think there's a couple new people. Okay.
We're going to take a break right now, get our market report, and then while we're doing that, we're going to call Mr. West. And I don't know if he's east or north or south, but we'll be visiting with him. That was really bad, I know. What can I say? I've never been known for my comedy. Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. This market report is being brought to you by Craig Keller at the Keller Insurance Agency in Nerstrand, by NorthlandBuildings.com, Werner Farm Seed in Dundas. Okay, when we return, we'll be visiting with Gary West.
Good morning. It's time for the market update on this Monday here on the Linder Farm Network. And joining us, Jim Emter, Van Awning Company, Alexandria. Jim, why the sharply higher look to the corn and the beans this morning?
Oh, Linda, a heck of an opportunity here. The reason being, it could really be kind of summed down to three things. Number one, we've got a warmer and drier forecast. That's going to be something to monitor here. There is heat that builds in the west. We've already got the heat in the east, and those kind of converge here towards the end of this week into next week to allow it to remain hot through a good part of July based off the forecasting right now. Now, with that, a little more of a limited precipitation trend. So that's story number one. Story number two, the hot, dry conditions in Europe continue. We'll continue to bake that corn crop over there at a real critical time. And then obviously the number three factor is we did have some big rains in some key areas here over the weekend. Parts of Iowa and Illinois had seen some really big rain totals, so maybe a little crop underwater here is really that third story. But there's a wild card here in a fourth story, and that is China behind this or not? You're going to hear a lot of talk about this. Linda, I think this is a weekend where the funds were just vulnerable coming in. They said, get me out in front of the fourth. We saw massive liquidation for the 2-3 weeks leading up to the end of month stocks and acres report. We got the acres and stocks report that allowed the market to turn out of there. And now you're coming into a few weeks here where it's going to get hot, possibly during corn pollination or at least some early parts of pollination. And that's got the market bid up. You know, that's encouraging to see here, Linda, but a lot of reports of good looking crops out there. So that's going to be the question. How far can the farmer hold off before they want to start making some sales? And from our vantage point at 458, that is our first retracement count for corn, then 466, then 475. Those are the three counts we'd zone in on. And beans knocking on the door of 1190 in November this morning. That's really the first key area to consider some marketing here this morning.
And cattle futures on the higher side. Otherwise, fairly quiet. What are you following with livestock?
Oh, it's been a lot of back and forth. Technically, this looks like a market that could break down, Linda, but when you look to the fundamental core, the cash markets continue to reign supreme. So the tug of war is going to continue here at a key price point for the cattle. Hogs chopping around as well. You know, we had something started last week. We're not able to follow through yet, but a lot of time to do it. It's just the cash undertones are going to keep hogs at a limitation. If that can ever improve, I think that's when hogs wake up here ahead.
Thank you, Jim. Jim Emter, Van Auning Company, Alexandria, with comments this morning. And July corn is at 439.5, up 14.5. September 436.25, up 13.25. December 456, up 14.5. And July soybeans 1171.25, up 39.5. August 1172.5, up 36.5. And November 1189, now up 41.25. August soybean meal up 7.90 and August soybean oil up 85. Chicago wheat September up 11.75. September Minneapolis up 6. August live cattle up 80. August feeder cattle up 62. August lean hogs down to 42. The Dow down 88. This is the Linder Farm Network.
If you can spend just one day this summer learning new ways to make your farm more profitable, be sure to come to the Ag PhD Field Day. I'm Darren Hefty. Each year, my brother Brian and I invite farmers from across the country and around the world to help them find more ways to improve their operations, and we'd love to have you visit. Attend this free event Thursday, July 30th, right here on our farm near Baltic, South Dakota. This year's field day will be bigger and better than ever with more equipment, more demonstrations, a whole host of great speakers, and lots of research plots and trials where we push crops to their limits. We'll also have great family entertainment, including a kids area and music, as well as fantastic food and drinks available throughout the day. And the best part is everything is free. Just one day can make all the difference for your farm. It's the Ag PhD Field Day, Thursday, July 30th. Learn more and register at agphd.com.
That's our update on the Linder Farm Network.
AM Minnesota on the Mighty 920 KDHL.
All right, we are joined on the telephone through the miracle of, well, I guess it's not such a miracle now. We've had telephone. How long have we had telephones?
I don't know. Alexander Bell.
Maybe Gary West knows. Gary, who actually is west of us, over in Elysian. Good morning, Gary.
And good morning to you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, I certainly appreciate it. Now, Julie, you can hear Gary.
Yes.
Gary, you can hear Julie.
I don't know, Kenny.
I can hear her a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I'll be okay.
All right. And you are coming to the Paradise Win, Gary.
That's Friday, July the 24th.
Ooh, that's not that far off.
No. Have you got your tickets?
Not yet. I don't know. I need to get that, don't I?
Yeah, you better jump on it.
And what are you performing again?
So our show is called Heroes, Friends, and Legends, and this show is really kind of a mix between the Highwaymen and the $1 Million Quartet. So Cash, Waylon, Willie, and then also Elvis and Jerry Lee Lewis, and I'll have a full band with a 3-piece horn section, and we're really looking forward to it.
Yeah, you got Chris Christopherson in here.
Absolutely.
He's got to be.
Yeah, we're.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. We're just. It's just he's one of the most prolific songwriters of all time.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, I think our show delivers something quite different. There's a lot of tribute shows out there. There's Johnny Cash shows and there's Elvis shows and I think ours is. I've always prided myself on our show being different whenever we do a tribute show. I'm not an impersonator. I'm not going to put on a wig and makeup and try to be somebody I'm not. There was only one Elvis. There was only one Johnny Cash. There was only one Waylon, but I think all those guys were certainly my heroes and influences growing up and playing music. And, I have such an admiration for their music and respect for it. And, when I was very young, I was about 19, 20 years old, I guess, I played drums for Tommy Cash, Johnny Cash's brother, and later on in the years went on and we did this Johnny Cash tribute show, and we were at Johnny Cash's farm for a CD release party, and Tommy got up and sang with us, and then we did the rest of our show, and he sat on the front row and watched us, and when he got done, he came up and he hugged me, and he's like, my real name is Gerald, and he's always called me that. He says, Gerald, he said, that's the most respectful show I've ever seen of my brother. He said, I just really admire that,
Wow.
So I don't think we could get a greater compliment than that, that, our show is respectful. And all my guys usually we wear black and white suits, and we're not dressed in shorts. I was telling somebody the other day that I see a lot of bands in shorts and stuff in the summertime. And back when I played with Little Jimmy Dickens, I traveled with him for 12 years and played on the Opry with him for 15 years. And we weren't even allowed to travel in shorts, let alone we weren't allowed to do sound check in shorts. I remember one summer it was super hot. We had a long tour, and they agreed to let us wear shorts, but we could not wear shorts to sound check.
Wow.
He said, you are professional musicians from Nashville, and you're going to dress and act like it. So kind of old school, I guess.
So what was it like touring with Tommy Cash?
Man, he was the most kind person, very respectful. We always had fun. Most every night he would take us out to dinner after the show, despite we had to load up and the crew had to load up. And he would wait and would take us to dinner, and just always had a great relationship with him. He was just a gentleman, just a real gentleman.
So did he and Johnny live close together or anything?
Well, they both lived in Hendersonville. And then after, Johnny passed away, well, Johnny had always had this farm out in Bon Aqua, Tennessee. It's south of Nashville, just a farm that he had owned for 30 years, and he still had that farm when he passed away. So we had actually two different CD release parties out there. They lived pretty close together. They lived there in Hendersonville, and it was kind of fun that Mark Cash, so Tommy's son Mark, and I become really good friends. We met each other. We were playing at a Sheridan Inn in Anderson, Indiana is how we met. And we became friends from there on out. And Mark came down to Houston, Texas, and played with us for a year. We would go over to his grandma and grandpa, Mom and Papa Cash, and drink iced tea and visit with them. And Tommy would steal apples out of Johnny's yard.
Well, that wasn't very nice.
But he would go over there and pick apples. He said, me and Dad are going over to pick apples at Uncle Johnny's. You want to meet us over there? I'm like, yeah, I'll meet you over there. So lots of good fun memories with them guys.
Were they close?
Absolutely, yeah, they were very close.
I mean, Tom and John.
Yeah, yep, absolutely, yep.
Not Tom and Jerry, Tom and John.
Not Tom and Jerry, yeah, Tom and John. Tom and Johnny, I think they did, at least one or two albums, I think, together. Okay,
I did not realize that.
Yep.
Well, that's good. So did Johnny ever join your band for a song or two?
No, and I never did get to meet Johnny Cash, and every time he would be out of town or I would be there and he wasn't there, and there would always be something would happen, and I never did get to meet him. And I've been blessed to meet a lot of my heroes, and I played on the Grand Ole Opry for 15 years. I met and hung around a lot of fun people and music entertainers, but I never did get to meet Johnny Cash.
Well, that's a bummer. Who is your favorite that you got to meet?
I guess probably Waylon, because I'm just such a fan of his music. Excuse me, I got a frog in my throat this morning, but yeah, I asked Jimmy Dickens when we were in the dressing room. I'm like, in Nashville, if you want to meet somebody or want to get your picture with them or something, in the music business, it's called a germ. And I remember we were in the dressing room, and I knew Waylon was going to be there that night. He wasn't performing; he was just coming to visit. And so I told Jimmy, I was like, Jimmy, I said, I don't want to be a germ, but is there any way I could meet Waylon? And he looks at me and kind of, makes his head go back, and he's like, "You've never met Waylon?" I'm like, "No." And he said, "Well, of course." And he goes, "Come on, let's go meet him." And so we went out. He was sitting actually on the side of the stage with his cane, and anyway, got to visit with him for a while. That was pretty cool. But yeah.
Well, I'll be darned. How tall is little Jimmy Dickens?
Oh gosh, I think he's like, I don't know, 4'8", 4'9", something like that. I forget now.
Yeah, he is little.
He's not very big.
He was quite the hoot, wasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely, like the song says, he's little, but he's loud.
Is there anything going to surprise people in your show?
I think there are going to be lots of surprises. I'll play some songs that I play sometimes in my solo thing, but we're also going to be playing some songs that they've never heard us play before. I'll do some Jerry Lee stuff, playing on the piano at the end. Most people, have never seen me do that. So most folks around here, we traveled a lot back before COVID, and we played auditoriums for 8 years, and I didn't play bars, didn't play anything else besides really auditoriums. And then when COVID hit, everything changed, and I just kind of sat around, and that's kind of where I started racing. But I think there'll be definitely a lot of surprises, some cool Elvis stuff, and the horn section. I've worked with these guys out of Minneapolis. They're just awesome. I think all of them played with Davina and the Vagabonds. I don't know if you're familiar with those.
Yep, I'm familiar with them.
They're amazing.
Yep.
So I've used these guys several times, and they always bring the element of surprise, and they're just fantastic players, and all these guys are just fantastic humans. They're great to work with.
What's your favorite Waylon song?
Oh, boy. That's a tough one. I'd say probably Rose in Paradise.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favorites. Yeah, it's hard to pin one down, but if I had to pin one down, that would probably be it.
You going to play that in the show?
I very well may. It's funny because I've made the set list out. The guys want to know, what we're playing, and we got to be prepared for the horns and some of that kind of stuff. But everybody knows that plays with me will know that I'll make a set list out, and I get about 2 songs down on the set list, and I'm off of the set list. I'm playing something that we never rehearsed, we never talked about. It happens all the time, and I think that fresh element. It's so hard to make a set list out and predict, what you're going to feel from that audience. And I'm very spontaneous, and so yeah, you mentioned surprises. There'll definitely be some surprises, not only for the audience but for the band as well. So
there you go. Hey, thanks, Gary. I certainly appreciate your joining us from the West there. Gary West on our AM Minnesota show. Julie, we're plumb out of time. I can't remember what we got tomorrow on AM Minnesota, but I'm sure it'll be very informative. It always is.